Remember when the wildest thing at a sleepover was prank calling your crush's house, or staying up too late watching scary movies, or freezing the first person's underwear who fell asleep? Yeah, those days are long gone. But shout out to you, Anne-Marie Collins, because you had the most epic slumber parties in grade school. In this episode, we're diving into how tech has totally changed the sleepover scene and what parents can do to keep things safe but still fun.
We read a lot in the Parenting in a Tech World Facebook group about sleepovers, how to tackle those, especially when it comes to devices and other kids coming over with their devices. So I guess to kick things off, what's like the number one danger of having phones and sleepovers like as a combination?
Ooh, it's hard to pick a number one. The first thing that came to my mind was that if you allow your children to have unmonitored, unfiltered, unfettered access to tech at a sleepover, it's not just the 10 kids that are sleeping over that are at the sleepover. It's the entire world.
Yeah.
That's problematic. I would say that's tied with the fact that children can be convinced or coerced into taking nude photos and videos and having that media distributed. Even if they aren't taking those photos and videos, their friends could snap photos and videos of them, and things could go bad very quickly.
Oh, definitely.
There's just so many, Sam.
Yeah.
Like I have a whole top 10 list.
Oh.
But like there's a really powerful quote from our friend Chris McKenna of protectyoungeyes.com in the documentary Childhood 2.0. And he says, what they see, they feel neurologically compelled to do.
Yes.
So if some of the children at a sleepover have been exposed to pornography or inappropriate adults in their life, they might just be inclined to emulate that sort of behavior amongst their peers. And so peer-to-peer childhood sexual abuse can and does happen at sleepovers as well.
And that's not something that parents think that they should be concerned about or even imagine could be happening.
No.
So yeah, I mean, I love that we can always go back to Chris McKenna and his bits of knowledge because they're so powerful, but so like simply stated. And I think it makes it really easy for parents to understand and relate to, okay, this is something that's happening and I just need to be prepared for that.
Yes, 100%.
How can parents, there's different strokes for different folks. Some parents might allow, kids to have iPhones and not monitor them. Other parents don't want them to have access to anything at all. How can parents navigate sharing the rules that they have put in place in their home that other parents might not agree with, feel comfortable with? Like, talk us through how parents can kind of get on the same level when it comes to these situations.
We have to be very real and candid with each other and lean into the data. This isn't about me judging your parenting. This is about your child and my child need to be healthy. And so when they're together at either my house or your house, let's come to terms with what they can access, when they can access, how they can access it, and maybe limit that access to protect both of them.
Right.
It's not easy because I know when I was growing up, like, all of my friends were allowed to watch all the things.
Yeah.
I was not. So that's hard, right? And you've got to use your better judgment. But I think we can all agree, no matter how conservative or liberal you are, that like children should not be exposed to pornography.
Right.
We can both agree to that. So 100%. If we can both agree to that, how can we co-problem solve making sure our kids can't access that on any of the connected tech that they have access to?
Right. And I know like some parents have like tech baskets or it's,
yes.
Like when the kids come over, put your phone in here. If you need it and you need to get in touch with your parents or whatever it might be, you can come to me. I will help you get it. Are there other ideas or ways that parents can kind of work together so that, everyone's kind of, even if they're not on the same page or in total alignment, they can work through it together?
Yes. And I want to get to the solutions in just a minute.
Okay.
I want to go over the top 10 reasons why letting kids have tech at sleepovers can backfire.
Let's go.
And these are backed by research. So fight me. Fight me, you keyboard warriors. One is exposure to inappropriate and explicit content. Speaks for itself. Even if all the kids keep the tech in a tech basket, is there a smart TV with a remote in the room where they're all hanging out? Like, you've got to be on top of it. And we'll talk about what to do in a minute. Cyberbullying in real time. Hey, let's all get together and take a screenshot of this person and create a meme, or upload their image to an AI generator. Just no.
Right.
Just no. 3, online predators and exploitation. Let's say everybody wants to play Roblox together. You know who else is on Roblox? Predators.
Always.
Yeah. Number 4, risky social media challenges. I mean, think about it. We used to dare each other to do things, spray whipped cream in somebody's hand and tickle their nose. And then, but that's not going to kill you. Right. The Tide Pod Challenge will. Number 5, sexting and sharing personal images. Again, even if it's not sexting, even if somebody fell asleep in a very unfortunate position and they have RBF when they sleep, if you don't know what that is, just a not nice face when you're asleep, right? Somebody takes a picture of that, it goes on Snapchat, you're getting bullied the next day. No. So I already said sexting and sharing personal images. Sleep disruptions and daytime fatigue. Show me a family who has had a kid sleep over somewhere else and come home and is happy the next day, and I will give you $500. It doesn't happen. They're cranky. You know why? They didn't sleep. Let's not make going to sleep even harder for them. Number 7, increased stress, anxiety, and other mental health struggles. Excessive social comparison, fear of missing out. Girls are particularly vulnerable to this. Things get exacerbated when they're together in groups and it gets to be nighttime and you have tech involved. Number 8, physical health impacts from too much screen time. Activity levels plummet when you're sedentary and in front of a screen. If our kids could get together for sleepovers and all be climbing trees and swinging, that'd be great. There would not be as many problems. Privacy and data security risks. Number 9, so many kid-friendly apps quietly share location or personal information with advertisers and third parties, much less strangers. So we don't need kids leaking sensitive data when they're just trying to play with each other.
Right.
And then finally, number 10, the erosion of face-to-face bonding and social skills. These in real life opportunities for children are being majorly disturbed by this tech. They need to understand nuances and conflict resolution without a screen or a keyboard in front of them, period. So that's my top 10 list. I know everybody is no, I know the problems. Let's talk solutions.
Yeah. So,
Tanya. So T-Money.
Yeah. I guess, we talked about the tech baskets. What other solutions are there that parents can leverage to, this is something they're going to face.
Totally. So let's talk about that tech basket. You need to be bold. You don't need to be ashamed of the tech basket. It's an awesome thing. It's a great thing. And so kids that come to your house, their tech goes in that basket. And if they need to call their mom or their dad, they can go to the basket, stand beside the basket, use their tech at that basket, and then when they're done, leave it at the basket.
Yep.
We don't take the tech away from the basket into any other parts of the house. There's no need. And that way, for parents who are whoa. You can't take away my kids' tech when they're at your house. That's their lifeline to me. Yeah. It's not going to not be their lifeline. But this is our home rule.
Yep.
So I feel like that strikes a balance between you want to reach your kid? Cool. So keeping tech out of the bedrooms, out from behind closed doors, making sure that you're setting those filters. Who brings the internet into your home? Who is your internet service provider? They have baked in parental controls and time limits and filters. Set them up. Yep. You're paying for it. Might as well set them up. Additionally, that's where Bark Homes comes in.
Yep.
Bark Homes. Bark Homes. The Bark Home comes in. You can see it behind Sam's head right there. Beautiful box, beautiful packaging. Shout out to our designers. But it's actually a really powerful piece of hardware. connects to your home's router and helps you to limit screen time and set filters.
Yep.
Not only on the tech that you have in your home, but the tech in that tech basket that other kids are bringing over, you can connect that to Bark Home too.
Yes.
That is a win.
Love that.
So filters, time limits, tech basket, location of the tech. And when you take tech away from kids that are addicted and used to it, they're going to have withdrawal.
Yeah.
So make sure you have some other things that are really fun instead of just being like, go figure it out.
Yeah.
That's a little rough. You can do that and they will figure it out.
Yeah.
But you will have an easier transition if you have Lego bricks, coloring books, markers, fun things to do outside, bouncy balls, pets. I don't know. Like, and be cool, right? Like if they want to have a pillow fight, let them have a pillow fight.
Yeah.
You can get more pillows if they get ruined. They'll be fine, right? Yeah. I'd rather you damage a $10 pillow than spend 2 hours on Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like have the pillow fight, have fun. So we've got to let our homes like be lived in and not just perfectly Instagram worthy so that our kids can have fun.
Right.
Let them climb the walls.
I love it. You know, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but what are some perks of a phone-free sleepover? You know, we often talk about how kids these days don't spend as much in real life time together as they do behind screens. So that's one perk is like, you know, they are having that in-person socialization. They're being kids again and not, you know, kids glued to a screen. But what other perks are there that might entice kids to be like more open to the idea or understanding of why that might be the rule?
Have you ever gone to dinner with somebody who was constantly on their phone? Wasn't that great?
It's horrible.
So right there, do you want the people you're with to be present or absent, even though they're physically there? And for kids, that's exponentially more value if they are present with each other. I also want to say, full disclosure, I have asked ChatGPT to tell me on the fly, what are some tips to keep kids safer at a sleepover? We'll see what they say.
Yeah, I'm interested.
While that's generating, I would also like to say, you could do a sleep under.
Yes.
The fun parts about sleepovers are the like wearing your jammies instead of your regular clothes, having popcorn and snacks, watching movies, staying up a little later than normal, being at somebody else's house versus your house, being with all your friends together. So let's say your kids normally go to bed at 9 p.m. What if you let them stay up later to like 10:30 or even 11, but then you pick them up and they come home to their safe house in their own safe bed where they're at least getting enough sleep and they're not exposed to tech or potentially risky other adults that you wish you could trust, but you might not be able to.
Right.
So let's normalize sleep unders.
I love it.
Let's all get together, but you better get your kids by 11.
Perfect. Sounds like a win-win.
Sounds great. Yeah. So there's that. All right. So ChatGPT version 04 mini high, for those of you who like to nerd out on ChatGPT, thought for 1 minute and 2 seconds and gave us 10 practical strategies to help ensure your child's sleepover is both safe and fun. Number 1, vet the host's family and home. I mean, you know what I will say to that is be bold and confident to have this, like, nobody wants to be a Karen.
Yeah.
Actually, we were joking about this off camera. I was a Karen before we started recording. I'll leave it at that. And I love you, my friend Karen, one of my best friends, Karen, and I'm sorry that your name is the name for that. Anyway, but like, be bold enough to ask, do you have parental controls and filters? Does your kid have any tech in the bedroom? Would you be cool if we worked together to like maybe make it safer? Because unfortunately, kids are kids and they make bad choices. And I would just really like to like help protect our kids.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong at all.
And I think that that's part of the problem today is parents feel like they can't do that, or they feel like they'll be judged if they do. And I think that, you know, at the end of the day, you parent a certain way, and that doesn't mean that that has to stop because they're going over to someone else's house who doesn't parent the same way as you. And I think that if anything, it might also be eye-opening for parents who might not be as aware of the dangers, and maybe it changes, the rules in their house too.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's one thing if you're like kind of a sugar-free house and they go to somebody's house and they have like Frosted Flakes and gummy bears and like, Breyer's ice cream, like awesome. You live your best life.
Yep.
But it's one thing if you don't allow, smartphones and then they go over there and they're exposed to bullying, predation, sextortion, mental health issues, disordered eating. Like nobody needs that.
Right.
We don't need that. Those are not the kind of boundaries we're looking to relax. The second thing they said was to share critical info with hosts. Well, whatever. But whatever. That's so obvious. But number 3, they say set up check-ins and exit plans. Now, what I will say is they surface, maybe have a secret code word or emoji your child can use. So if they are uncomfortable, but they don't want to be labeled the Mom, come get me. You can agree on a code or something that's I don't know, banana. That's my go-to word. It was just if I say banana, what's about to hit the fan.
Right.
Get me out of this situation. Get me away from this person. Roll it down the car window, whatever.
Yep.
Banana. Just have a safe word or safe thing so you can check on that. Or if they text you some letter, the letter L, then they call you, you call them and be hey, buddy, we've had a family emergency. I'm going to have to come get you. So they don't even have to say anything. They can be oh, man, something happened. I don't know what, but my parents are coming to get me.
That's great.
Always give them an out. Some of these are so basic. Gosh. Enforce tech-free hours, but pre-approve and monitor apps. Yeah. You might want to use YouTube Kids only, not regular YouTube.
Yep.
I can't think of a bad reason for doing that. Teach body autonomy and safe boundaries. This is actually really critical. I'm glad they surfaced that. Please have age-appropriate conversations about consent and personal space with your kids. Practice with them how to firmly say no or stop if they feel uncomfortable. Empowered kids are safer kids. Nobody wants to talk to their kids about sexual abuse, but the rate at which it happens is way too high, and it's happening in the company of otherwise trusted adults, dads, uncles, brothers, pastors, coaches. Teach them what is appropriate and what is not appropriate, no matter how nice this person is to them, so that they can be empowered to know how to say no, how to say stop, and that they can come to you and they are not in trouble and there is no shame, but you are there to protect them. Love it. The rest of these are just really dumb, so we won't even waste time on there.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Thanks, ChatGPT, for 3 out of 10 solid suggestions.
We'll take what we can get.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else should parents know about phones plus sleepovers equals XYZ? Just high level takeaways.
Yeah. Phones plus sleepovers, and not just phones.
Tech.
Tablets,
all
gaming consoles, smart TVs, anything that can connect to the internet or LTE cellular service that allows children to connect to the outside world, plus sleepovers, not a good idea.
Right.
The only caveat is if it's not at your house, your children need the ability to call or text you or 911 in case of emergency.
Right.
Use tech as a tool for good, and other than that, mitigate the bad and get back to in real life, authentic, personal connection.
I love it.
When in doubt, have the sleepover at your house. That way you'll be way more in control, and or throw out the idea of a sleep under.
I love it. I think we should make sleep unders a thing.
Agreed.
I want to sleep under.
Me too.
I want to be able to go home to my own place.
My own bed.
Yes.
Yeah. As always, thank you so much for tuning in to the Parenting in a Tech World podcast/videocast. When it comes to kids and tech and sleepovers, do not be afraid to set tech boundaries, keep devices out of bedrooms, stay involved, and be the confident parent that your kids need.